WNEM TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
We kick this Friday morning off with breaking news in many communities across mid-Michigan. You are taking a live look over I-75 in Genesee County, where those dangerous flooding conditions are being reported at this hour. Take a look off into the distance. You can see those cars moving at a snail's pace. Check out the one right at the bottom of your screen with the hazard lights flashing. We understand there are several vehicles that are stalled, and we even have reports of people standing on top of their vehicles waiting for help to arrive. My colleague Craig McMorris is on the road right now and joins us live via broadband with more about those conditions being reported in most of the southern part of our viewing area. Good morning, Craig.
Hi, Aisha. We are southbound on I-75 in the Birch Run area. As you can see through your television set, it's kind of dry right in this area, but we are heading towards the danger zone, if you will. We're talking about Genesee County. We've had a number of reports from the Genesee County Communication Center regarding problems in that area. Let's go over a couple of them. Northbound I-75 near Bristol Road, call for road flooded. Several vehicles stuck in the roadway there. Also, another reported about 416 this morning from Torrey Road in Flint Township. They have a request for roadblocks due to water 3 to 4 feet deep across Torrey Road. And as I scan down even further, same general time, about 4:15 this morning in Burton, near the area of southbound I-475 and West Temple Road. A blue Cobalt stuck in the water. The car was stuck in the roadway because of the high water there, and they say that the northbound and southbound impassable in that area. So these are things that people need to be aware of in Genesee County as they're out and about this morning. You could be encountering some high water. Don't drive through high water because that is a very dangerous situation. Once again, we are in southern Saginaw County. Not too bad in this area right now, but you have to be aware of what's going on in Genesee County. And we'll have an update on that situation hopefully within the next 10 or 15 minutes. Reporting from Saginaw County, Craig McMorris, WNEM TV5.
All right, thanks, Craig. Count on WNEM TV5 for continuing coverage on air and online. Craig McMorris will be bringing us live updates throughout the morning on those dangerous conditions that many people will encounter if they're heading out the door early this morning. Meteorologist Catherine Bodak is quite busy. She's been tracking those flash flood warnings since about 4 a.m. What can you tell us, Catherine?
We still have a flash flood warning in effect for both Shiawassee and Genesee County until about 9 o'clock later on this morning. And for the most part, those rain showers, those thunderstorms are starting to wind down on our First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar at MBS. And it was a very action-packed night across mid-Michigan. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. And you can see right now that flash flood warning in effect for that box shaded in that blue color. So let's zoom into the Flint area where you can see Grand Blanc, Flushing still dealing with a few of those scattered rain showers at the moment. Not so much in the way of thunderstorms right now, but we're still dealing with those very dangerous situations. Do not drive across any roads with standing water. In fact, the road could be, in fact, washed away beneath you. So let's take a look at those rainfall totals where it's quite impressive in the Flint area. Over nearly 5.5 inches there. So that's the 24-hour rain totals that have fallen. You can see elsewhere we've gotten quite a bit of rain up in Houghton Lake as well, over 2 inches there and over an inch in Oscoda. So we're still watching those rain totals go up a little bit, mainly for our southern counties, just because we still have a few more scattered showers left. But those rain showers will be tapering off during the late morning hours. Those temperatures are very mild, low to mid 60s, a few spots in the mid to upper 50s right now. And you can see that we're also picking up a little bit in the way of foggy conditions. Now that's mostly to the north and west. You can see we have reduced visibility over Mount Pleasant. I know driving in from Midland this morning, we were down to about a quarter mile in some spots. So patchy fog is certainly a possibility this morning as well, on top of the flash flood warning. Daytime high temperatures today will top out at around 72 degrees. Not as warm as yesterday, but still a very mild day across mid-Michigan. And we will eventually see dry conditions by this afternoon. And I have a look at your weekend forecast coming up shortly, which it looks pretty nice. Comfortable temperatures and dry skies. And I have that and much more coming up in about 10 minutes.
A live look right now over Bay City, where a traffic alert for drivers heading out on their morning commute. Right now, the Independence Bridge is closed, and there's no word at this hour as to when it will reopen. So if you're in Bay City and usually take the Indy Bridge, you'll need to find a different route. We'll keep you posted on when officials expect to have things back to normal out there. Let's continue to track that flooding. We continue now with an update on that breaking news at this hour in our southern viewing area where people are dealing with some pretty dangerous amounts of water. Joining us live on the phone is Albert Strickland. He lives in Flint Township, and I was checking Facebook this morning and he posted that his bedroom and his basement were completely underwater. Albert, what can you tell us about the situation at your home this morning?
I just woke up and stepped out of bed and stepped into a puddle of water, a big old mess down in my basement due to the flood, due to the rain and all the rain that was falling. It's just a mess.
And we actually see some photos that you sent in to us here. Is that your bedroom and your basement, correct?
Yes, my bedroom is in my basement. I was trying to dry it up with some towels, but it's just so much that I just came upstairs and just sit on the couch until it stopped raining. Then I'm gonna try to get it straightened out.
Now, is this usually a problem that you deal with, or just when it's so much rain? Catherine just mentioned there were about almost 5.5 inches of rain in Flint. So is this something that you typically deal with, or is this your first time having this issue?
This is my first time having it this bad. It has happened before, but this is the worst it's been. It's all over the basement, on both sides of my basement.
Okay, so it looks like this is something we're going to be looking at throughout the day. A lot of people dealing with this. Thank you for joining us, Albert, and best of luck in your cleanup efforts.
Thank you so much.
Now, remember, we want to see what you see when severe weather strikes. Remember to see it, snap it, and send it to us at WNEM at WNEM.com, where you can either post those weather snapshots on our Facebook page. In other news this morning at this hour, residents in our northern viewing area will host a luminary who may be on Mitt Romney's short list for vice president. Governor Rick Snyder is speaking at the Northern Tradition, a fundraising event hosted by the Mid-Michigan Community College Foundation. The address is at noon at Jay's Sporting Goods in Clare. A Florida political analyst suspects Governor Snyder could be on Romney's VP list. The analyst is Chris Ingram. He uses hotel room reservations for the upcoming Republican convention to make his case. He says Mitt Romney and the Massachusetts delegation has the best rooms, and Snyder and Michigan got the second best spot. He also cites Snyder's appeal to moderates. We'll hear what Governor Snyder has to say about the speculation during his visit to Clare. Count on TV5 for complete coverage of that event. A U.S. Senator is coming to Flint today to announce an initiative aimed at bringing jobs back to America. Democrat Debbie Stabenow will be at Mott Community College at 1 this afternoon. Her legislation is called the Bring Jobs Home Act. It offers tax credits to American companies that bring jobs to the U.S. and ends loopholes for companies that send jobs overseas. Flint's emergency financial manager is ready to lay out his public safety plan. Mike Brown is holding a news conference at 10 this morning at City Hall. He's expected to address reopening the city jail along with a partnership with the state police. It comes just days after he released his new budget, which could result in the layoffs of more than 100 police and firefighters. New on Wake Up, it's a local story that made national headlines after a Catholic school revoked a graduation speaker's invitation after learning he was openly gay. Now the controversy has hit a new level. A protest is taking place at Sacred Heart Academy in Mount Pleasant this morning. That protest starts at 8 a.m. Count on WNEM TV5 to keep you posted on what happens during that event. It's the 7-month itch for actress Demi Moore. It was that long ago that she announced the end of her marriage to Ashton Kutcher. Yesterday, she made it official by changing her Twitter username from @MrsKutcher to @JustDemi. In her first tweet, she says, quote, "So hard finding a name that was fun, somewhat playful, and available. So for now, it will be @JustDemi. It could kind of, grow on us a little bit. Mrs. Kutcher was fun too, but I like that one. That brings us to our fast feedback question this morning. Do you enjoy following celebrity tweets? You can post your comments on our Facebook page or send us a tweet if that's what you do. You can also send an email to WNEM at WNEM.com. That's a fun topic. TV5 News Time is 5:09. An inferno at a recycling plant in southeastern Michigan. We have new video you don't want to miss. The WNEM.com web team is tallying votes for the best parks in mid-Michigan, and we have a winner in this week's Top 5 on 5.
It's been an action-packed 24 hours across mid-Michigan, and those showers and thunderstorms will be coming to an end. I have a look at your forecast hour by hour coming up.
You're taking a live look over I-75 in Flint. That is just north of Bristol Road. We're following that flash flooding in Genesee County. Keep it here. More news and weather after the break.
You're watching Mid-Michigan's #1 5 a.m. newscast, WNEM TV5 Wake-Up. Now with coverage you can count on, this is a WNEM TV5 First Warn 5 weather alert.
Good morning. TV5 news time is 5:12, where we had a very action-packed past 24 hours. We did have copious amounts of rain that has fallen across mid-Michigan. Also showers and thunderstorms tracking across the area. You can see just a few showers and thunderstorms, mainly in our south viewing area, but that'll be tapering off later on this morning. In fact, because of all this rain, we do have a flash flood warning in effect for both Shiawassee and Genesee County until about 9 o'clock later on this morning. So a very dangerous situation down there. Take a look at these rainfall totals over the past 24 hours in the Flint area. Almost 5.5 inches has fallen, so quite a bit of rain down there. Even further north, we had quite a bit of rainfall across Houghton Lake, extending over to Oscoda. Just about 2¼ inches over there, and about 1 inch for Oscoda. So we're watching for those rain totals to go up just a little bit more, especially for our southern counties once again. Then eventually we'll see the rain taper off, and we're also tracking the potential for some early morning fog this morning, reduced visibility for mainly our northwest counties. You do have reduced visibility over Mount Pleasant, just under a mile there. Now for your day part forecast, by noon we'll see a chance of rain and thunder, but I think a lot of it will be out of the picture. We'll have those temperatures in the upper 60s. Today we will top out at around 72 degrees, so not as warm as those temperatures we had yesterday, but it'll be fairly mild out there with dry conditions by 5 o'clock. We also have a dry night ahead of us as well, and a fairly nice and comfortable weekend. I have a look at that in your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
You are taking a live look over I-75. That is in Genesee County, just north of Bristol Road there. A lot of people take that roadway on their morning commute. You will definitely need to slow it down out there this morning. Meteorologist Catherine Bodak is tracking about 5.5 inches of rain in Genesee County just in the past 24 hours. Hence the flash flooding warnings. Very dangerous situations out there. My colleague Craig McMorris is on the road right now and joins us live via broadband with more. Good morning, Craig.
Hi, so we are on southbound I-75, and as you can see, we are stopped. You see nothing but brake lights in front of us. We are near the Corona Road exit, and as you can see also the roadway is wet, and apparently some vehicles are dealing with standing water straight ahead of us on I-75 southbound. This seems to be a problem across Genesee County this morning. Some of the most recent reports that we have received from Genesee County Communications Center around 4:03 this morning in Mundy Township, 8075 South Jennings Road. That road is flooded, and there seems to be a lot of problem going on in Flint Township this morning. For example, northbound I-75 and West Bristol Road, road flooded, several vehicles stuck in the roadway there. Yeah, on other areas of Flint Township, we have 3347 Torrey Road, a report of water 3 to 4 feet deep across Torrey Road. These are all areas that you need to be aware of, and if you do encounter standing water in the road, you're advised not to drive through it. A very dangerous situation if that happens. And once again, as you can see, we're southbound I-75 near the Corona Road exit, and people are driving around us, creating a very interesting situation here, and it's becoming a parking lot here. And it should be more interesting as the morning goes on. We're going to keep right on top of it. You're watching us reporting live via Skype on WNEM TV5. I'm Craig McMorris reporting from I-75 in Genesee County.
Now with coverage you can count on, this is a WNEM TV5 First Warn 5 weather alert.
Good morning. We had showers and thunderstorms roll through mid-Michigan yesterday and last night, and because of those, we do have some very dangerous situations out there. A flash flood warning is in effect for both Shiawassee and Genesee County until about 9 o'clock later on this morning, and you can still see that we are still tracking a few showers and thunderstorms just south of Chesaning and north of Owasso and Corona. So let's zoom in here and get a closer look at where the rain is falling right now along Highway 52. You'll be running into some of those rain showers showers, and the same goes for Highway 21 as well. Now, some of those darker red radar returns, that means very heavy rainfall. So that means that even though we are seeing that flash flood warning right now, it still could be a very dangerous situation with more rain in that forecast later on this morning. So let's take a step outside with our live cam network, where you can see in Saginaw, it's currently dry and mild. Those temps are in the low 60s, winds out of the southwest at about 3 miles per hour, and we're seeing those temps very mild across the area, and those rain totals very high as well. In fact, Flint has already seen almost 5.5 inches of rain from these storms that have rolled through the area. Lesser amounts the further north you go, but they did receive quite a bit of rain in some of our northern counties. Houghton Lake, almost 2.25 inches, and we're just over 1 inch in Oscoda. So watching those rain totals go up a little bit more for our southern viewing area, so that could be a very dangerous situation, not only this morning, but in the afternoon when that flash flood warning has expired. Here's a look at our temps right now. Very mild, 64 in Flint, 64 in Owasso as well, 56 in Houghton Lake, and 55 currently in Oscoda. And because of those mild temperatures, calm skies out there, we do have some fog also to report. Reduced visibility in parts of mid-Michigan, especially to the north and west. We do have just under a mile visibility in Mount Pleasant, to around half of a mile in Houghton Lake and in Oscoda. First Warn 5 Sky Tracker showing the past 6 hours where it certainly has been a very active weather pattern. We had severe thunderstorm warnings issued across parts of mid-Michigan yesterday and last night, and you can see that the rain is starting to wind on down, but we do have the chances for a few more showers and thunderstorms later on this morning. But you can see by 8 o'clock, we do have mostly dry conditions, maybe a few more isolated showers and thunderstorms. By noon, we'll still be seeing those dry conditions for the most part, with overcast conditions by 3 o'clock as well when the kids are getting home from school. By dinner time, those clouds will thin out just a little bit, but overall in the overnight, we will see mostly cloudy conditions. By tomorrow morning, clouds will thin out just a little bit. We'll have dry conditions for your Saturday under a mix of sun and clouds. In your 7-day forecast, it will be fairly nice over the weekend. You can see temperatures on both Saturday and Sunday will be in the mid to upper 60s, so very comfortable if you do have any outdoor plans. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Monday, a slight chance of rain and thunder with those temps in the upper 60s, so very close to normal. Not as warm as we experienced yesterday, but those temps will feel a little bit comfortable over the next couple days.
All right, let's get this in really quick. Where Craig just was, I-75 southbound in Genesee County is closed at Corona Road. About 3 to 4 feet of standing water there. Those cars are going to have to take a detour, so if you're headed in that area, please take a detour ahead of time. Keep it here. Cool Schools is next. It's Cool School Friday here on TV5 Wake Up. This week we paid a visit to the Saginaw Loomis Math, Science, and Technology Academy.
Today we're at Loomis Math, Science, and Technology Academy, finding out what makes it a cool school. Come on, let's check it out. So what makes your school cool?
I'm so great to Misha.
And what makes your school so cool?
Our school is so cool because we get the students involved in lots of new learning. In our kindergarten class, we try to broaden their horizons and expose them to a lot of different learning opportunities, different ways of learning, and they love anything that has to do with technology. As you can see, we've got technology going on all over the building, so we incorporate our benchmarks and our standards into the different technology pieces that we use, and they love that.
So what's your favorite part about school?
Reading books and doing math and listening to my teacher. And my favorite part is when you learn about new things and be good and reading things about different kind of stuff.
Science, Math, Technology School, wonderful students. If you can take a look around, beautiful children, very excited and motivated to come and learn. A lot of hands-on things and computers. Each student has a laptop to work on and complete assignments, so they enjoy that.
So what makes your school cool?
You always have fun activities, like different sports and clubs.
We get to learn new things, and that we have great activities here, and we get to play games and still have fun learning things.
I like to play.
Loomis Math, Science, and Technology Academy is very cool because we teach respect, responsibility, and we are inquiry-based, meaning that students are hands-on learning.
It's a hard knock life for us. Steady kisses, we get sweet. Steady kisses, we get geek. It's a hard
the students are getting ready to perform with students from Reuben Daniels. They're doing a musical in 2 weeks, Annie, and so our students have been asked to join and participate with them. So we've been working the past couple weeks really hard, and they're doing a great job. So.
It's a hard knock life.
We've had such a great time visiting Loomis Academy. There are so many things that make this school a cool school.
Well, if you think your school is cool, let us know. You can go to WNEM.com and fill out our Cool School nomination form or email us at WNEM@WNEM.com.
And at the bus stop this morning, you may want to bring that umbrella. We do have a chance of rain showers, especially in our southern viewing area, with those temps today topping out at around 72 degrees. I have a look at your full forecast coming up in the next half hour.
If you're heading out the door, you can get news updates from WNEM TV5 on the radio in your car. Just tune into Cars 108 WCRZ. It's coverage you can count on.
WNEM TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news right now in many communities across mid-Michigan. You're taking a live look over I-75 in Genesee County, where those dangerous flooding conditions being reported right now. You can see cars with their hazard lights on. They are stuck in about 3 to 4 feet of standing water in some parts of Genesee County. Some people are actually standing on top of their vehicles waiting for help to arrive. My colleague Craig McMorris is on the road right now. He's stuck in a standstill on I-75 near Corunna Road, where I-75 has been shut down due to that flash flooding. Good morning, Craig.
Hi, Aisha. What's that song, Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli? Well, it's raining right now, as you can see through our Skype camera. We've been sitting here for about 10 or 15 minutes. The interstate has turned into a parking lot near the Corunna Road exit southbound I-75. We can pass along some information to you. I-75 southbound closed at Miller Road, which is probably why we're sitting here right now, because that's a little farther ahead of us. I-75 southbound closed at Miller Road. Be aware of that. So if you're traveling southbound on I-75, you're advised to take the Dixie Highway or some other way, because this isn't going to work for you right now. Other areas to be aware of: Flint Township really being hit hard by the rain. The 4300 block of Kenwood Road flooded. Water is coming up through basements. There are some apartment buildings in that area that also, in the basement level, they're experiencing a lot of problems right now. Fenn Road and Bristol Road, Fenn Road and East Bristol Road in Burton, 3 to 4 cars stalled at the intersection there, so be aware of that. We have also had reports northbound I-75 and eastbound I-69 in Flint Township. Cars going southbound in the northbound lanes to avoid standing water. So we are seeing some vehicles move a little bit right now, but once again, as I mentioned, I-75 southbound closed at Miller Road. That is the information that we have received from the Genesee County Communications Center. Once again, if you do encounter standing water in the road, don't drive through it. That's a very dangerous situation. So just don't drive through the water. It could be a bad thing for you and your vehicle. Reporting live from I-75 southbound near Corunna Road, Craig McMorris, WNEM TV5.
All right, good. Thank you so much, Craig. Count on WNEM TV5 for continuing coverage on air and online. Craig is going to be sticking with us with live updates throughout the morning on those dangerous conditions. Remember to be smart out there. Don't try to drive in the opposite direction or pass through that water. It is about 3 to 4 feet of standing water. Meteorologist Catherine Bodak has been tracking this flash flooding all morning. What's the latest, Catherine?
We still have that flash flood warning in effect for both Shiawassee and Genesee County until about 9 o'clock later on this morning, and they are still encountering some rain showers as well. You can see that on our First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar at MBS. Some showers and even thunderstorms right now falling just north of Flint and Owasso. You can see some of those darker red radar returns, so that means very heavy rainfall still falling across much of our southern viewing area. So just north of Corunna and Owasso, dealing with a few of those showers along Highway 52. And if you do plan on heading along Highway 13, just in between Montrose and Flushing, you're going to be seeing some very heavy rainfall as well. And those rain showers are within that flash flood warning box. So that means this could be a very dangerous situation. And again, you can't stress enough how dangerous it is to drive across roads with standing water on them. The road could actually be washed away underneath you, and that could be a very dangerous situation again. again. Take a look at the rainfall totals over the past 24 hours. Nearly 5.5 inches has fallen in the Flint area. Lesser amounts the further north you go, but still significant in some spots. Houghton Lake, almost 2.25 inches of rain has fallen over the past 24 hours. So quite a bit of rain with this system that moved through the area. About 6 or so hours ago, severe thunderstorm warnings issued for much of mid-Michigan. You can see those temperatures right now, very mild, 63 in Flint, 55 in Mount Pleasant, and 55 currently in Oscoda. Not only are we dealing with the flash flooding concerns, all that rain and thunder, we also have some fog we're dealing with as well this morning, mainly in our northwestern counties. Reduced visibility for Oscoda, Houghton Lake, where we're just under a mile there. So watch out for the patchy fog. Later on this afternoon, those rain showers will taper off. We'll see high temperatures max out in the low 70s. So it's going to be a very mild, comfortable day. Those humidity levels will certainly be down this afternoon as well, and we'll eventually be tracking dry conditions and a fairly pleasant weekend on the way. We'll talk about cooler temperatures, and I'll have a look at that hour by hour coming up in about 10 minutes.
A live look now over Bay City, where we have a traffic alert for drivers heading out on their morning commute. Right now, the Independence Bridge is closed, and there's no word at this hour when it will reopen. So if you are in Bay City and usually take the Indy Bridge, you'll need to find a different route. We'll keep you posted on when officials expect to have things back to normal there. Other stories we're following this morning. Residents who like to gamble may have another spot to place their bets. The Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians wants to open a $245 million casino in downtown Lansing. The Upper Peninsula tribe will seek federal permission for that casino. It says members voted nearly 2-1 in favor of the plan. Governor Rick Snyder and Attorney General Bill Schuette oppose the idea, as do some other American Indian tribes with competing casinos. The state Senate is trying to move up the date by which a child needs to turn 5 in order to enter kindergarten. Legislation that passed yesterday would move the date up by 1 month of the next 3 years. That means children would have to be 5 years old as of September 1st to enroll in kindergarten. Now children can enter if they are 5 by December 1st. The legislation aims to ensure that children are ready for school. That legislation now is headed to the House for a vote. And that brings us to this morning's fast feedback question. Do you think changing the entry age for kindergarten will help students succeed in class? We'd like to hear from you, especially all those parents out there. You can post your comments on our Facebook page or shoot an email to WNEM@WNEM.com. Dozens of firefighters battled a stubborn blaze outside of a recycling center in Southfield. You're looking at new video as those flames were shooting from a lot near the Resource Recovery and Recycling Authority of Southwest Oakland County. Acting Fire Chief Keith Rowley says workers saw flames coming from an area holding large bundles of recycled paper, cardboard, and plastics. Rowley says high winds fed the fire. There are no reports of any injuries. Well, all week long, we've been asking you to nominate your favorite parks for this week's Top 5 on 5, and here's a look at who made the cut. Heritage Park in Frankenmuth, Mount Pleasant Parks, Irons Park in West Branch, and Carroll Park in Bay City. Also, the Arthur Latham Park in Millington. A live look over the WNEM Facebook page where we tallied all of your votes, and the winner for this week's Top 5 on 5 is Irons Park in West Branch. They won this week's competition by a landslide. So it's going to be warm today. That could be a cool spot to check out. TV5 News Time is 5:39. It is Cool School Friday. Still ahead, we'll introduce you to this batch of cool kids and let you know why their school is so cool. A local school made national headlines after uninviting an openly gay alumni to speak at their graduation ceremony. Coming up, a look at protests that are fighting the school's decision.
And we still have a few showers and thunderstorms out there right now, and those will be coming to an end later on this morning. I'll take you through that forecast hour by hour coming up.
And our Road Warrior team is still stuck in a parking lot on I-75 due to that flash flooding there near the Corunna Road exit. Keep it here. We're tracking how this will affect your morning commute.
Now, with coverage you can count on, this is a WNEM TV5 First Warn 5 weather alert.
Good morning. TV5 news time is 5:42, where we did have a very action-packed past 24 hours. Severe showers and thunderstorms that rolled through the area on our first Warn 5 sky tracker, eventually starting to come to an end. You can see just a few more leftover rain showers, mainly in our southern counties, but this is part of a batch of rain and thunder that is moving off to the east. So later on this afternoon, we will see dry conditions overall for your Friday. So let's take a look at those flooding concerns that we do have out there. Until about 9 o'clock later on this morning, a flash flood warning is in effect for both Shiawassee and Genesee County, so that could be a very dangerous situation. We are seeing very heavy rainfall falling in a very short period of time, and this is going to continue at least for a couple more hours. We still have a few more showers and thunderstorms out there right now. Take a look at these rain totals. Past 24 hours, nearly 5.5 inches of rain has fallen in the Flint area. The further north you go, those totals fall off a little bit, but still quite a bit of rain for Houghton Lake and Oscoda with just over an inch there. Fog tracker picking up some foggy conditions as well, especially in our northwestern counties. Reduced visibility for Mount Pleasant, Houghton Lake, and Oscoda, where they are down to about a half-mile visibility at this hour. Day part forecast, those rain showers are coming to an end. A lot of folks are even dry right now. The rain that we're dealing with is mainly in some of our southern counties. 68 degrees by noon, but we will see dry conditions by 5 o'clock with those daytime high temperatures topping out in the low 70s with winds out of the northeast. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will talk about the weekend where it looks fairly pleasant and comfortable. We'll have that in your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
WNEM TV5 news time is 5:44. Strange things always seem to happen when there is a full moon, but what happens when there's a super moon? That's still ahead.
With coverage you can count on, you're watching Sports Extra.
The Tigers had a much-needed day off yesterday, and after starting the season at 9-3, they have gone 3-9 since. But help may be on the way as soon as Monday. Doug Pfister looks to be set to rejoin the rotation. Wednesday night, he had a rehab start in Toledo. Pfister went 4 strong innings. He allowed 2 hits and walked 1 while striking out 5. Now, Pfister's been out of the Tigers rotation since April the 8th when he pulled a muscle in his side. He could return to the mound for the Tigers on Monday when the Tigers visit his old team, the Seattle Mariners.
It's been a while. I mean, I've thrown a couple of bullpens before, and they were full tilt. And tonight, I went out there and pitched like I would normally pitch, and didn't really feel anything, so it was good.
Well, the Lions are not done tinkering with their roster. With key health issues in the backfield to Javid Best, Mikel DeShore, and Kevin Smith, the Lions are looking to add depth at running back. And according to his agent, free agent Ryan Grant has been offered a contract to come to Detroit. Last season, Grant split carries in the Packers' backfield with James Starks and rushed for 559 yards. Grant did have back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons in 08 and 09, but missed most of the 2010 season with an ankle injury. Remember, folks, the highlights and scores, just one place to be. That's TV5 News at 11. I'm Scott Johnson, and you have a nice day.
And the Loons game later on this morning at 10:35 will start with temperatures in the mid-60s. We do have a chance of rain showers, but I think a lot of us will be dry with those winds out of the northeast. And we'll talk about that flash flood warning that's still in effect coming up in the next half hour.
If you're heading out the door, you can get news updates from WNEM TV5 on the radio. In your car, just tune into Club 93.7. It's coverage you can count on.